screen, guys?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Just as usual, can someone tell us what we did in the previous lesson quickly? Just to describe in brief, what is it that we did? We want to hear from Humphrey now. Humphrey, if someone was to ask you, what is it that you're doing in the previous lesson, what would you say?
We did the 6 eyes to
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm. You are lagging. I can't hear you nicely, but I heard you mentioning the 6 eyes. What else? Yeah, I think there are network issues with Humphrey because I can hear you are breaking. But thank you for that. So we spoke about the different types of platforms, guys, if you remember, and we spoke about the 6 eyes. You know, at the beginning of today, we spoke about the benefits of digital communications, the key challenges of digital communication. Now we need to apply this because we've been talking about theories. We've been talking about theories for a while. So let's look at real life scenarios and see how these fit in. For example, on Tuesday, we spoke about setting digital marketing objectives. We spoke about benefits of digital communication. So how will these fit in the actual reality? So I've got this exercise for you guys. Okay. I'm also going to send this link in the chat so that you guys, if you can actually click on it from your devices so that we engage on this. You can see my slides, right? Okay, I've sent a link. So
you sent it already?
I've sent it on the chat, but not on WhatsApp, on the chat for Teams. Yes, I've sent it already.
Oh.
Can you see it? I'm also sharing it on the screen because we are going to have a discussion on that. So let's solve these. Okay, can you see my screen? What can you see on the screen, Watura?
Status deodorant makes
Oh, perfect. Yes, that's great. So there's this article on Bees Community. Status deodorant makes a bold statement with their new pack upgrade by Just Design Johannesburg. So this was published in 2000, this month, 2 years ago, by Just Design. So Status deodorant has bravely leaped from safe, old, and expected to trendy, young, and authentically African. Can you see, guys? I told you about AMA 2000.
Mm.
Already, when we see an article saying young and authentically African, that's AMA 2000. It's
Yeah.
just that the term AMA 2000 has not been formally or academically approved,
Mm.
but it's something that we live with on a daily basis. A bold move, and one that will change the South African deodorant category forever. It's always a tricky ask of a creative brief to dramatically shift a brand into a space that is both modern and trendy, as well as being reflective of African roots and heritage. It's almost paradoxical, but get it right, and you are able to access the elusive South African millennial consumer that demands authenticity, accessibility, and the opportunity to define and personalize brands in their own way. Status has become stale and irrelevant with their consumer set. The only way to gain market share and growth was through a significant change in visual identity and target audience. Appealing to a younger and more affluent audience brings the brand into position to finally realize its goal of becoming the market leader in the cologne deodorant subcategory. New look status is defined, throwing out all expected category cues and displaying powerful African-inspired patterns from top to bottom, each one unique to its scent. Remember, guys, this word defiant is the same word that is synonymous with AMA 2000. You guys are seen as very defiant. The architecture and jargon on the pack itself emulate the cologne perfume industry, allowing status to truly own fragrance as a key differentiator. Status isn't playing itself. A status man isn't fooled by brands that serve up per se creative or global brand replicas. They take pride in their African status and will define things their own way. Bold, African, creative, and real. Okay, so that was the case study. Now let's go and engage on the activity itself. Okay, so based on what we read on that Biz Community article, what are the benefits and challenges of running digital campaigns? These are just your thoughts, by the way. There is no correct answer because we are discussing here. What are the benefits and challenges of running a digital campaign?
Mm. I think the challenge is getting attention from like different generations.
Mhm. And ultimately, that challenge will affect sales because at the end of the day, companies are selling, they want to generate revenue.
It will, sorry, sir,
So,
can you repeat?
mhm.
Can
Yes, yes, continue.
no, can you please repeat? You said it will affect.
Sales.
Oh, okay.
Like they want people to buy status.
Mm, mm,
So if they are not getting their attention, because at the end of the day, companies need to generate revenue in order for them to survive.
yes.
Mm.
And okay, so can I ask, so is sales also going to be a challenge? Because I know that cost can sometimes be a challenge for a digital campaign.
Yes, cost is always a challenge, but how come you guys are affording your iPhone 14 Pro Max when you both know that iPhone is expensive?
Yes, it's not our money.
But that's what every AMA 2000 is crying for, right?
Mm, mm,
And unemployment is very high in this country,
mm.
youth unemployment. Yet you have got AMA 2000, you have got iPhone phones. I don't even have one.
Oh,
So the issue of cost can be debated. That's what I'm trying to say.
okay.
The issue of cost can be debated. Same thing with polo cars. See a lot of young people driving polo cars. Then people be like, "Oh, VW is very expensive." You know, things like that. Uh, so what are the key communication aspects? So realize if you go back to that screen on Biz Community, their content strategy is to align with African values. I don't know if you have seen that. And there are many organizations are actually doing that. They try by all means to say things that resonate with AMA 2000 so that they get the attention of AMA 2000. You know,
Mm,
even Western companies, I don't want to say white companies, but all of a sudden you hear them preaching Ubuntu, this and this, because they want to reason. Haven't you come across that, guys? Not in a bad way.
yes, yes, we
You know,
have.
they'll be like Ubuntu, Ipapa, Amavoroso. Like they're now talking the language of Africans because they just want you to get attention. It's all about attention, as you said, Watura.
Mm,
Because attention is the one that will determine whether someone is interested or not. You know,
yes, yeah.
if I want you, for example, I will need to say something that is going to get you my attention so that you actually wait for me if I want to stop to you.
Mm,
You know, but if I don't say something that will resonate with you, it will keep you be not interested. You just keep going.
mm,
That's the same thing that promoters, these salespeople that you bump on the road. That's why we don't stop to them because the way they'll do it will be like, no lie. What is it that you want to hear from me? So it's the same thing with the noisy digital space. You come across people using the language that you want the target audience to understand, not only AMA 2000, even the old people. You
yeah.
use the language that old people understand to get their attention. Otherwise, if you don't do that, they are not going to engage with you. They are not even going to give you a chance to listen to you. You are selling clothes to old women. Talk about AMA petticoat because
Mm,
they don't wear skin size. Of course, there are some who are modern who wear skin tights, but most of our mothers, their inner shorts are petticoats. You know a petticoat, right?
yes.
You know, but if you talk about a petticoat to a AMA 2000, be like going to Zabo Gogo, they won't listen to you. So
Mm,
content strategy is remember I spoke about content marketing in the previous lecture.
yes.
It's very important because it is the one that actually taps into attention. Is this person speaking my language? MTN tries it. They don't use formal language. They use like eta, hello, hola,
Mm,
because that's the language that is synonymous with their target audience. It's always tricky, by the way, because sometimes you can use something that the language that someone understands, but they won't even stop for you. We've got complicated customers in life, just like we've got complicated people in societies. Even if you use something that is available in the book, it doesn't mean that you are always getting remember, digital marketing is all about achieving the objectives, but it doesn't mean that you are going to achieve all the objectives.
mm,
We always sit down with our uncles or our aunties and they'll be like, Mfanami, umfazi ushelwa kanje, 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 kanje. They'll give you all the notes about asking out a woman, but it doesn't mean that those notes are going to work in each and every woman that are going to come across. You can come across a Watura who are going to be more difficult than all the notes that you got from different uncles.
mm,
And
mm.
all of a sudden, you need a new strategy. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
That's why digital marketing is difficult because it is not a one size fits all. We can teach you the concepts in class, but still it will be difficult to apply the race model.
Mm,
How are you going to reach those people? How are you going to engage with them, to convert them? You'd realize that you can use Casper Newvest, for example. Let's say it's got 10 million followers. I've mentioned this several times. I'm sure Humphrey is now more familiar with it because I also mentioned it in the class. You can use Cassper Novest as a race model, you know, that we are going to reach customers who are his viewers, 10 million customers, 50 million customers. However, how many of those customers are going to act? Not all of them. How many of those customers are you actually going to convert? Because 50 million people can view a BMW advert. Let's say it's BMW using Cassper advertising on Cassper Novest page. 50 million people are going to view the BMW advert, and most of them are going to comment, it's nice and this and this. They're going to engage with it. And some are also even going to download it and make it a wallpaper on their devices. But how many are actually going to buy it? So conversion will be very low there. And when I talk about buying, we are now talking about sales. So it can be tricky because sometimes we just love something but we cannot afford it. See. So this is the case study that I wanted to engage with you. And you can use these three concepts at the bottom here. You can use customer engagement to let the millennials engage with status. So nowadays it's not only about creating a concept, you also need to put that concept in the field. So how are you going to engage with customers? The permission that you get from them. And of course, content marketing. I think I elaborated a lot on content because content is the one that can either entice a customer to transact or to just walk away. And we've seen it even in physical stores. Sometimes you don't want something, but you come across that salesperson who is so good with his content and you end up buying something for the sake of him. I don't know if you have been in that situation.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, are there any questions? Are there any comments? Are there any additions or subtractions?
No, sir.
Humphrey, do we have any questions?
Okay.
All right, guys, thank you so much, for staying up with me for more than 3 hours. It's greatly appreciated. I love your resilience, guys. Otherwise, you would have left and come up with excuses. Not everyone is load shedding, by the way, but students can actually say that I'm load shedding. And I won't have any proof just because you don't want to attend a class. So I do appreciate that you guys stayed with me up to this hour. And I hope to see you in the morning tomorrow. The Friday class is always the most difficult one because it is early in the morning at 8.
Yo.
So, Watura, why are you saying yo?
Hey, sir, waking up is not easy.
I know, but remember, you are going to wake up early for the rest of your life when you start working or when you've got a family and kids to take to school and stuff like that. So it's now for you to start a habit of waking up before 8.
Yes, sir.
Some of us wake up at 5 a.m. every day
Yo. Shit.
after having an evening class.
Hi.
So guys, I hope to see you tomorrow at 8:15 in the morning. We are going to be looking at the strategy framework and the generic digital marketing strategy development process. So this is the generic process. I'm just going to take you guys through the steps. Like if you are to be involved in any strategy, what is it that you need to do? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday and we chat again tomorrow morning.
Thank you so much, sir. You too.
It's my pleasure. And thank you for participation, guys.
Okay. Okay, sir.
At least it wasn't one-way traffic, eh?
Mm.